We got a pretty good stack of 2x8s cut today. I wasn't sure it was going to happen. So things are going beautifully this morning. I've got today and tomorrow left, and then I've got to go. I got about 20 2x6x10s out of this last log. Here's what's left. Was on essentially the last cut. I like using that cut just because it's less wood I have to move. I should have just moved it because the very last second right here, guard came loose, started seeing sparks. Anytime you see sparks on your wood cutting blade, that's a bad day. So I'm pretty sure that blade is shot. I've got another one, plus the one I changed earlier this week that this one didn't seem to cut much better than that one. So we should be good, but yeah, that's bad. Don't like to see that. So I'm gonna break, refit, get ready for the next log, and then do some mechanicking.
One of the glorious parts of sawmilling is shoveling sawdust. Fortunately, it's been sunny, so the sawdust hasn't had a chance to accumulate a bunch of moisture.
So pulled the blade off. This one doesn't look too bad. That one might actually be able to refinish. This one, same. That one, nope. That's pretty much the end of that blade. I think you can get them re-tipped, but this guy here, not so good. That one, maybe. But yeah, so good thing I got more blades. Guys are snug, but not crazy tight. Really bad if a blade comes loose. But it does have safety nuts on the top, so check all the way around, make sure it's flush up against the head. All right. Now it's time for the safety nuts. Don't leave that up there.
With a log this size, having two people really makes a world of difference. A lot of times, I'll get it lifted up a little bit, then my wife will stick a wedge in it to capture the forward progress, and we'll just keep going. By Friday, my bar had seen better days. There's probably better tools for what we were doing, but that's what I had on hand.
I'll top off the fuel and then have you run to town and get more gas. Right. So I'm a little worried about this chunk right here. I don't know how deep it goes. We could lose a lot of the log. And then we'll just end up cutting this to remove it, because now that it's in here, it'd be tough to get out. So hopefully most of the log is good and we just lose a little bit of this side, but we'll see. Finished that log I was worried about. As you can see, that punkiness actually didn't go in very far, which was good. The problem was it was such a hard board. I don't know if you can see, but I have a whole stack of wedges. Every time I try and cut a 2x8, I think that engine's just not quite powerful enough, and so it ends up falling the grain. And so I end up with all these wedges, which if I was making shims would be awesome, but for what I'm doing, not awesome. So that's probably a third of the log right there that was all garbage. I think I got a grand total of 6 boards out of that whole log of the 2x8. I did end up cutting about 10 2x6s. I handled the 2x6s fine. So, making progress, but that was, as I suspected, kind of a waste of time, but for a different reason than what I thought it would be. Long day. I'm pretty well bushed. It's 8 o'clock now. Still have about a half hour of daylight, but I'm pretty well just wrapping stuff up. Be ready to go in the morning. Today is Thursday. We leave Saturday, so I have one more day to get everything done. I think it's actually looking doable now. We got a pretty good stack of 2x8s cut today. I wasn't sure it was going to happen after our wedge making fiasco. I ended up having to use the mill in opposite directions, so my vertical cuts were 1.5 inches and my horizontals were 7.5, because the other way I was just ending up with wedges. I think it's a little harder on the saw, but it ended up working. We have 108 of the 104 we need, so that's good. We're still a little shy on our 2x6s. Not as worried about those. Those are for my walls. Looking at these, some of them are actually a little ratty. But again, for the walls, they're not too structural. About halfway through on 2x6x12s. And 49 of 79. So just over halfway on our 2x6x10s. Then we have a few bonus 2x4s. We are still missing, come over here to my missing stuff, 2x6x16. I don't have 15 of them, and 2x6x20. I still need 10, but we're making progress. And then the last stack of lumber that we need is over here. Hopefully tomorrow I can figure out how to get these all consolidated so they're in one place and ready to go. Don't have any forks, but I think I have a couple neighbors that do, so I'm gonna have to go beg tomorrow, see what we can accomplish. But we are in good shape with our 2x8x12s. I have 75 of the 60 I need. So some of them may not be in good shape. That's why I cut extra. But yeah, that stack of logs is looking a lot smaller. Still have all of these logs that got to get cut in the next 6 months or so, or they'll start to go bad. So still have a lot ahead of me, but that's where we sit.